Night falls. A silvery moon ascends beyond jagged mountain peaks. Rounded, luminous, it bathes valleys and rivers in serene light. Across ancient China, its pale glow slips into courtyards, temples, and the hearts of lonely wanderers. In the Tang Dynasty, there lived a poet who befriended this moon, who drank under its radiance, who followed it across fields and rivers. He is Li Bai, the drunken sage, the immortal poet. And tonight, we begin our scroll under his moon. Li Bai was born in the year 701, possibly in Sui, modern Kyrgyzstan, or in the borderlands of Central Asia. Yet by the time he was young, his family had relocated to Jiangyu, near Chengdu in Sichuan province. In those hills and river valleys he grew up, surrounded by towering mountains, whispering bamboo groves, and currents of the Min River. Even as a child, he read voraciously Confucian classics, Taoist texts, Taoist alchemical liturgies. He wandered the hills, gazing at stars and musing on immortals. At 25, he set off from Sichuan. He floated downstream along the Yangtze, passing lakes and forests, meeting minor officials and hermits, composing early verses on his pains and joys. His heart always reached beyond ordinary boundaries, yearning to touch the celestial. In his late 30s, Li Bai arrived at Chang'an, the capital of the Tang Dynasty. This was the golden hub of culture, politics, and poetry. He met patrons, courtiers, and fellow literati. On one occasion, the renowned court Taoist Wu Yun praised him to Emperor Xuanzong. So impressed was the emperor that he held a banquet in Li Bai's honor, even seasoning his soup by hand. Yet Li Bai was never content with mere official rank. At court, he would sometimes arrive drunk, declaiming verses before ministers, exuding both brilliance and recklessness. His presence was electric, a poet of sublime gifts, but always on the verge of slipping beyond protocol. He was briefly appointed to the Hanlin Academy, a scholarly circle serving the emperor, yet his heart roamed freely, unconstrained by palace walls. Li Bai's poetry and psyche were deeply influenced by Taoist currents. He saw himself not merely as a mortal, but as part of the cosmos, close to the realm of immortals, Xian. He roamed mountain trails, drank spring water, conversed with hermits, and imagined celestial palaces floating above cloud seas. The moon above, the rivers below. These were not just scenery, but symbols of transcendence. He embraced a worldview beyond political ambition, letting one's spirit wander freely, merging with the rhythms of nature. So many of his lines speak of wandering beyond the clouds, or ascending to jade halls in the heavens. To Li Bai, wine was a medium. When one drank deeply, the self loosened. The barrier between earth and sky thinned. In such moments, the moon might reveal hidden truths. No image is more linked to Li Bai than wine plus moon plus poetry. His legend as the drunken sage grew from this mystical trio. In one poem, he sits under flowering trees, pours himself wine, and invites the moon and his own shadow to become drinking companions. The three of them, man, moon, shadow, become inseparable. I raise my cup to invite the moon. He and my shadow and I make three. Even as others see drunkenness, Li Bai treated it as a ritual release. Wine washes away the mundane. In that loosened state, the poet enters uncharted inner realms. Moon-gazing while drunk became almost a sacred act. The moon, unwavering and eternal, contrasted with the murky flux of human life. It stood as a witness, a guide, a silent confidant. Du Fu, his contemporary, included Li Bai among the 8 immortals of the wine cup, not as a jab, but as tribute to his ability to drink deeply and yet soar in poetry. This image, Li Bai in drunken communion with Moonlight, is echoed through art, literature, and memory. Among Li Bai's many moon poems, perhaps the most beloved is Quiet Night Thought. The lines, in one translation, moonlight before my bed, perhaps frost upon the ground, I lift my head to view the bright moon, I lower it and think of home. In just 20 characters, it captures the hush of night, the luminous moon, and the ache of longing. Visualize the scene: a traveler in a distant place, lying sleepless in a small room, moonlight spilling across the floor, conjuring from that pale glow an echo of frost. He lifts his eyes to the moon, so near yet far, and bows them to think of the homeland. In another poem, Three with the Moon and My Shadow, Li Bai dissolves boundaries. We are three, the moon, my shadow, and I. Drinking, we share the same soul. The moon becomes not only companion, but mirror, witness, and partner in existential dialogue. Across his oeuvre, the moon is multifaceted, bright and pure, remote and intimate, cold and compassionate, a cosmic presence that converses with the human heart. The mid-8th century brought turmoil. The Anlushan rebellion erupted in 755, ripping through the Tang realm. In the chaos, the emperor fled, the court fractured. Li Bai, ever a wanderer, drifted among war-ravaged lands, never settling. He served briefly as advisor to Prince Yong, then was imprisoned, freed, pardoned. He traveled through Sichuan, Hubei, the Yangtze region, composing poems amid disorder and sorrow. In later years, his wanderings narrowed. In 762, he took refuge with his relative Li Yangbing in Dangtu, Anhui. His body grew weak. His writing turned inward, reflections on impermanence, the losses of friends, the silent watch of the moon across changing seasons. He recalled youthful vigor, longing for the peaks and mists of his early journeys. In those quiet moments, the moon, once companion to his wine, became confession, solace, memory. The end of Li Bai's life is shrouded in mystery and myth. One legendary account claims that while sailing on the Yangtze River, intoxicated by moonlight, he leaned over and tried to grasp the moon's reflection, only to fall into the water and drown. Though many scholars doubt this romantic version, it remains enduring. An immortal poet, seeking the celestial moon, dragging his mortal self to the water's edge. Imagine a midnight boat, a lone figure leaning over, moonlight dancing on ripples. The boundary between real and reflected dissolves. He reaches and vanishes beneath the surface. Whether literal or allegorical, the story echoes his life, always reaching for the moon, always dissolving into poetry. Li Bai's poetry endured beyond his life. Over 1,000 poems survive. Many are anthologized, taught, translated. His moon imagery became central to Chinese poetic imagination. He elevated the moon from mere object to cosmic interlocutor, emotional mirror, timeless witness. Even today, students learn quiet night thought. Artists paint Li Bai under moonlight. Poets across East Asia recite him. The moon that lit his wanderings still glows in contemporary hearts. In this way, Li Bai stands among the immortals, not just by myth, but by the luminous lines he passed down. So now I turn to you, the viewer. Tonight, look up, behold the moon. Imagine Li Bai's shadow beside yours. In that pale glow, perhaps you'll sense his voice, whispering, "Raise your cup. Invite the moon. Drink. Let your spirit wander." The moon unites us across centuries, and in that communion, the scroll continues.